Welcome back to See Today Business, only on C Morning Show with me, Aline Wiratmaja. Now we are joined by market analyst from Sukor Sekuritas, Daniel Wiguna, head of online trading at Sukor Sekuritas, right? Now we're going to talk about some sentiments and then other factors that may affect the market this week, all right?
Sure.
And we are today waiting for the release of the inflation inflation data from Indonesian government. So what can you tell us about the inflation based on Sukor Sekuritas analysis?
Yes, first of all, happy Batik Day, of course. International Batik Day. It is like a good sentiment. Of course, with the US sentiment also doing really well by the end of the week, because the US market, the US government passed their purchasing bill. So it will bring 45 days of grace period for them to think about. Yes, extra time. So it wouldn't be any government shutdown for 45 days, which indicates a really good sentiment for our global market, especially for our trade with the US, because we know US is the second largest of country that we export our commodities to, of course. So
important trading partners for Indonesia.
Yes, super important trading partners after China. So today there will be no a lot movement from China market, because China market is still on national holiday, and we should focus on our domestic sentiment. The first one is the inflation consensus. We see that the August consensus, the August data indicates the figure around 3.27% year on year. But for September, the figure consensus would be around 2.2% year on year.
Easing inflation data expected to be released today.
Yes, today. But we in Sukor Sekuritas see around 3.4% of inflation data, general inflation data, and 0.18% for month-to-month data. So I think from 11 consensus, we are the one who try to project higher inflation rate on September. It is because of the fuel consumption and the increase of non-subsidized fuel on September that is increased by the government. So last year in 2022, we see that the subsidized fuel is quite high. The increase of the subsidized fuel is quite high. It is around 30%. That's why this indicates there is a high base of calculation data from last year to this year. So this year we will see in September also a quite higher data than the other months, because there is an increase in their fuel consumption and also the fuel price of 2023. We see that the WTI and the Brent oil price is increasing from year to date. It is now it is around 90 for the WTI oil data and 95 for Brent. So also we project that the overall oil price for this fourth quarter in 2023 will be around $100 per barrel. So it will also indicate a good opportunity in looking at oil sectors.
Hold it, we will spill the stocks that we can look at regarding this sentiment. We will discuss the market sentiments that we have here first. So we have discussed the inflation data and then the PMI.
Yeah, the second one is the PMI. Of course, because of the fuel consumption and the increasing of the energy price, it will push our manufacturing PMI, which we projected at 53. It's just like slightly decreased from August.
But this is still expanding?
Yes, still expanding, which if we see and we compare to Southeast Asia PMI manufacturing data, we are the highest for September and also in August. So this is really, really a good number, but we still need to see the detail later on if the PMI manufacturer data got released. So we still need to check on the sector, which is still growing, because non-oil related sector will be not quite favorable by the investor. So the one that is we projected got got impact is the one that the one corporate, the one manufacturing company which use a lot of oil and oil-related company. So yeah, this is a good projection for that kind of company.
So declining PMI expected, but Indonesia is still resilient compared to its peers in Southeast Asia. And then the foreign exchange reserve you forecast at 136 billion US dollars.
Yeah. It got slightly lower than the last month, because the last month is 137.1 billion. So it got decreased by the foreign government foreign debt. We got like a payment for government foreign debt, and also to stabilize rupiah. We see rupiah level at the spot market now is 15,000.
15,500 something.
Right. We try to, the Indonesian Central Bank try to stabilize that data, of course, that our rupiah exchange level, so it still can be compatible and comparable with the other trading countries.
So regarding the interest rate as well as the rupiah exchange rate against United States dollars, do you have any insights from Sukor Sekuritas?
Yes, of course, because we, if we see the bank rate in Indonesia is not quite different from the US market, from the Fed. So this indicates investor not to invest a lot in our domestic market. We see year to date there is like a capital outflow around 4.4 trillion rupiah already, and of course Indonesian Central Bank and also Indonesian government didn't want a lot of capital outflow until the end of the year. So one of the strategy is stabilizing rupiah, and also maybe on this October or November, maybe Indonesia will, there is a projection that Indonesia will go faster than the Fed by cutting our rates.
Cutting our rates?
Cutting our rates, yeah, okay. Because this is already projected. We already projected this from June 2023, like last few months. But we hope because of our inflation consensus, and we hope that the level is decreasing to 2.2%, which is still in Indonesia Central Bank projection level. So there is a big opportunities, big projection that maybe we will go faster than the Fed.
Yeah, because of our inflation data, but then we have this risk, capital outflows because of flight for quality that usually take place whenever the treasury yield in the US look attractive. And we have discussed this. You mentioned that there's a possibility that the oil prices will reach $100 per barrel. Let's talk deeper into this. Yes, as we know that oil is said to be the mother of all commodities, how it affects the commodity prices, especially coal, which is important for Indonesia.
Yes, this part is like already been projected and already been like priced in to the investors' investment categories and sectors in, of course, in oil sector, because 2 or 3 months ago we project that the oil price will be higher by the end of the year. Of course, this is because still because of the OPEC countries cut their production rate until the end of the year. So we projected that the oil price could hit $100 per barrel. But there is one projection that said maybe this won't happen if China open their oil rigs and they can produce more oil. And they also can export oil to another country. So maybe this, if China do this in the fourth quarter in 2023, the oil price wouldn't be in $100 per barrel, but we projected to $88 per barrel. But 88 or $100 per barrel is still a good number for oil sector in our domestic market to grow. So
yes,
I
still
think,
the
yes.
stocks.
We
Disclaimer
see,
on.
yes,
Do
disclaimer
your own
on.
research.
We see that Medco Energy is one of the best stocks that investor could see.
Do you think it still has some
upside potential? Yes.
Potential because it reached the all-time high like in recent days, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, in Friday, Medco closed in around 1,610. It got like corrected by 2.13%, but we still have like a good projection that these stocks can go further to their resistance in 1,800. So yeah, I think maybe there will be 10 to 12% upside for the stock until the end of the year. But yeah, we still hope there is an overshoot to maybe 1,800 to 2,000 tops on the resistance.
Oh, let's
So,
look
yeah.
at that. And then another stock.
Another stock that we should see other than oil is the banking sectors, of course, because at the end of the year and because this is October, we in Sukor Sekuritas usually use our Halloween strategy to buy on banking stocks such as like BBRI, BBCA, and also BBNI, which we see BBNI already have all-time high also,
yes,
because they want to do some stock split 1-to-2 ratio. So and it will end in this week. So usually investors sell their stocks on the end of the session, which would be on this Friday.
Sell on news because it has come to realization. Yes. So you think they will switch to BBRI, yes, as well as BBCA. Yes. And you also predict that GCI, Jakarta Composite Index, can hit 7,000 this week.
Yes.
Due to limited time, we have to end our discussion here. Thank you very much, Daniel Wiguna, Head of Online Trading from Sukor Sekuritas, for joining us today. And we'll have more updates from around the world when we return, so stay with us on the C Morning Show.